The boy was just picking up scrap in a junkyard. Unexpectedly, the ground beneath his feet suddenly collapsed. His father wanted to step forward to save him, but it was already too late. The boy was sliding toward the abyss at an alarming speed. Fortunately, a mechanical arm hooked the boy at the critical moment. After being rescued by his father, he carefully brushed away the mud and found that this was actually a complete robot. The boy was instantly excited. You should know that in today's world, robots have replaced boxing. The audience is no longer satisfied with the feeling of flesh hitting flesh. Instead, they are obsessed with the sparks of collisions between mechas. Max grew up in this environment. Naturally, he also wanted to have a robot of his own. However, his family conditions were limited. But today, he found one in the junkyard. With an incredibly excited mood, he hurriedly brushed away the dirt. After digging for a whole night, he finally dug the robot out. Back at home, Max plugged it into the power supply. He didn't expect that the robot, which had been dormant in the junkyard for so long, could actually start normally. What surprised Max even more was that this robot actually had a rare imitation function. Even his father was very surprised. Next, Bailey gave the robot a remote control. She told him how to operate it. This was very simple for Max, who often played games. Max used a water gun to carefully clean the stains on the robot. Suddenly, he noticed a string of English letters carved on the robot's chest. Obviously, this was his name. Later, he took Adam to find his father. He wanted him to participate in a robot competition, but his father directly refused him, only because it was a second-generation imitation robot. It was designed to be beaten. Taking it to the arena to fight would make people laugh. But Max did not agree with his father's view. He always felt that Adam was not an ordinary robot. He seemed to understand what he said. He was hiding some kind of huge potential, so he found his father again. He begged him to help arrange a match. Facing his son's continuous begging, the father finally chose to compromise. He took him to a friend's boxing gym. He prepared to let him see what a real boxing robot was. He wanted him to give up. Here, Max saw the most powerful robot in the world, Zeus. He only needed one move to finish off his opponent, but these things did not scare Max. Instead, it made him more determined to let Adam compete. Facing his son's persistence, the father had to take him to an underground boxing ring. Here, the father found him a relatively weak opponent. If Adam wins, they will get a reward of $1,000, but if they lose, Adam will belong to the organizer. Soon, the scene was crowded with people. They were looking forward to this match very much. The opponent also mocked them, but Max didn't pay attention. He was just carefully adjusting the equipment. The father wanted to control Adam himself, but Max said this was his robot and didn't need Charlie's control. As the referee rang the alarm, the match officially began. The opponent came up and stepped on Adam's foot first. Then he smashed Adam's head fiercely. Adam had no power to fight back at all. Max on the side also started to panic a bit, but fortunately, his father was directing from the side. But Max was not grateful. He said he didn't need his help. After losing his father's direction, Adam fell into a disadvantage again. He was rubbed crazily against the rocks by the opponent. Max, participating in a match for the first time, was also flustered and didn't know how to operate the robot. Fortunately, Adam is a sparring robot. He is very tough. He didn't have any malfunctions even after several heavy blows. However, just being beaten was not a solution. Seeing that there were only the last 30 seconds left, this instantly made Charlie very nervous. The rule set by the organizer for him was, as long as Adam was not knocked down within the specified time, he would be the winner. At this time, Adam was knocked to the ground by a punch. The audience instantly boiled over. As the countdown began, the match also neared its end. Max was unwilling to give up. He desperately called out Adam's name. Under the continuous shouting, Adam seemed to hear the summons. Then he suddenly stood up. The father couldn't believe they actually won the match. This is the charm of boxing matches. Just like that, they won $1,000. But his opponent was a bit unconvinced. He suggested another round. The father originally wanted to take the money and leave, but the son agreed to the opponent without hesitation. Obviously, the rebellious son made the father helpless. As the bell rang, the match started again. With the previous experience, Adam successfully avoided the attack. Before the opponent could recover, Max controlled Adam to launch a fatal blow. He successfully crashed the opponent's system. The opponent hit his own head crazily, and then suddenly fell to the ground. Everyone couldn't believe it. This robot actually won the match. The opponent was almost bursting with anger. However, He also accepted the defeat and obediently gave them $3,000. When they were leaving, another agent found the father and son. He invited them to go to the boxing ring for another match. They could get $7,000 if they won. At night, Max did not sleep. He was studying Adam's hardware upgrade. Just like that, he was busy from night until day. He got through it by drinking energy drinks. Now he needs some music that can make him excited. As the boy moved, the robot also followed and imitated. The actions were completely consistent without any deviation. However, the sound soon woke up the father, but seeing them having so much fun made him very gratified. Then Max began to introduce his achievements from the night. He said that Adam can now be controlled by voice. No remote control is needed. The father also instantly saw hope. So, in the following days, Charlie started to train Adam as soon as it was dawn. He let him get familiar with every move and every style, and Adam did not fail his expectations. He soon recorded all of Charlie's moves into the system. Their highlight moment officially began. During the days of boxing, Adam could always win against his opponents without exception. They got a lot of prize money. Every time he went on stage, he would also perform a hot dance. This made the match not so boring. The audience liked him more and more. After winning many matches in a row, they became slightly famous locally. Soon, they received an invitation to an international event. This was also the dream of the father and son. As long as they could beat the opponent, they would become famous. But their first opponent was a robot known as the Evil Twin, Twin Cities. Before the match, Max carefully checked Adam's parts. This was to prevent malfunctions on the field, and Charlie was extremely nervous because he was on the international stage for the first time. But just when the match was about to start, Zeus's agent found the father and son. He invited them to sit in his room. After arriving at the room, the club owner received the father and son. He said he wanted to buy Adam. As a reward, he would give the two of them $200,000. The father was of course very willing to sell Adam, but the son was determined not to. After saying that, Max directly left the room. He even had a big argument with his father. Charlie had no choice but to face the upcoming match. Surrounded by the audience, Twin Cities made a powerful debut. His console was controlled by two pilots. This could make more accurate judgments. Next was Adam's appearance. He first performed a hot dance in front of the audience. The atmosphere was instantly raised by their MC, but their opponents were laughing out loud. Obviously, they didn't take the father and son seriously at all. Both sides were in position. The match officially began. Twin Cities took the lead in attacking. Fortunately, Adam dodged in time. Then he started to fight back crazily against his head. But after only a few rounds, the advantage of Twin Cities was shown. They were double controlled. Combined with high-tech equipment, they soon pushed Adam to the corner and attacked crazily with heavy punches. In an instant, sparks flew everywhere. The father knew that if they fought like this, they would definitely lose. Fortunately, the careful father found that every time Twin Cities threw a punch, he would extend his wingspan. This was the weakness of Twin Cities. Once he was approached, he could not lock on the target. Adam found an opportunity to go behind him. Then, he started to fight him in close combat. Twin Cities, who was approached, could not fight back at all. Under the continuous attacks, Twin Cities' hard drive soon malfunctioned. Under the left and right dodging, Twin Cities was played until he was dizzy. Then, Adam KO'd the opponent with one punch. The audience in the whole stadium boiled over instantly. No one expected that a robot picked up from a junkyard could beat Twin Cities on the professional field. The father and son were also extremely excited. All the audience rushed to the ring. But just when the host announced the result, Max suddenly grabbed the microphone from his hand. Then, he publicly made a crazy provocation to the Zeus team. The high and mighty Zeus team was suddenly speechless. The reason why Max mocked them like this was that he wanted to skip the next opponents and directly challenge Zeus. And this move of his really worked. After the match, many reporters blocked the door of the Zeus club. In the end, the Zeus team chose to accept the challenge under the pressure of public opinion. As soon as Zeus appeared, he showed an extremely strong sense of pressure. The audience at the scene was in an uproar. Then he jumped and came directly to the center of the ring. This scene left Charlie dumbfounded. You should know that Zeus has not lost once since his debut. In the past, his opponents were either cut off at the waist or had their heads smashed by a punch. But even facing such a terrifying record, the father and son were still calm and composed. They firmly believed that they could stand out in this match and become world champions under much attention. The match officially began. Both sides walked to the center of the ring respectively. Unexpectedly, Zeus knocked Adam down with just one punch. The scene was instantly cheering. This punch almost made Adam fall into a crash state. Zeus looked at him with disdain. Then he raised his hands high to show his dominance. Under Charlie's continuous shouting, Adam stood up with difficulty. But Zeus saw this and knocked him down again with a set of combination punches. In less than 10 seconds, Adam was knocked down twice in a row. There was almost no suspense in this match. Even Charlie didn't know how to win. He could only shout desperately outside the field. Adam heard Max's shouting. Then he stood up with difficulty. But what could he do, even if he stood up? Facing such a powerful opponent, he had no power to fight back at all. Adam was pushed into the corner by Zeus. Then he was attacked crazily with hydraulic, heavy punches. Adam swayed and refused to fall. Seeing this, Zeus gave him another punch. This should have completely ended the battle. Max was full of unwillingness, but Adam had already fallen into a crash state. With the referee's countdown, the match was also about to end. Unexpectedly, Adam actually stood up once again. The audience at the scene felt it was incredible, so they started to cheer for Adam one after another. Adam, who stood up, protected his head tightly with his hands. Then he found an opportunity to launch the first attack. This punch almost knocked Zeus silly. No one expected that Adam, who was being beaten passively, could still fight back. Immediately after, under Charlie's direction, Adam started to fight back crazily. In an instant, Zeus was a bit overwhelmed by the beating. Fortunately, the operator adjusted in time. Zeus moved to his back with a dodge. Then he started to throw heavy punches at him crazily. Adam could only block passively, but Zeus pulled away his arm guards and hit his abdomen crazily. Zeus, who didn't want to waste more time, was prepared to throw a heavy punch to end the opponent quickly. Unexpectedly, the bell suddenly rang at this moment. Zeus could only be forced to withdraw his heavy punch and return to the rest area. The father and son also started to race against time to repair Adam, but his situation was obviously not optimistic. Many parts had malfunctions. Fortunately, they repaired Adam before the match started. Immediately after, the second round began. In this round, Zeus was even more aggressive. He came up and threw Adam away like a little chicken. But what the Zeus team didn't expect was, no matter how many times Adam was knocked down, he could stand up. And under Charlie's control, he could occasionally counterattack. Just like that, they survived the second round and came to the third round. In this round, Adam started to slowly have some initiative and fought back and forth with Zeus. The audience hadn't seen such an exciting match for a long time. But soon, Adam couldn't stand the pressure. He was knocked down by a punch. However, just when Zeus thought the battle was finally over, Adam actually stood up once again. Then Charlie started to perform emergency repairs on him. Just like that, they survived until the fourth round. The continuous mistakes made the Zeus team completely angry, so they no longer took it lightly. They started to go all out. Although Adam used his body movement to dodge the fatal attack, he was caught by the head by Zeus. Then a hydraulic heavy punch followed. This punch directly broke Adam's voice system, and he couldn't receive Charlie's commands. Taking the chance, Zeus started to pursue the victory. He smashed Adam's head crazily. Charlie could only watch from the side without any way to help. Then Adam's body started to smoke. At the critical moment, the bell rang again. This also allowed Adam to save his life, but now his voice recognition was broken and he couldn't continue the match. Charlie wanted to quit, but his son said he had another way. It turned out that at the beginning of Adam's repair, Max had installed an imitation program for him. In other words, he could imitate Charlie's movements and let him fight the final battle with Zeus. At first, Charlie kept rejecting his son's request, but when he saw the scene that the Zeus team was already scared, Charlie agreed decisively. So he started to give Adam the last advice. As the bell rang, the fifth final match officially started. Just like that, Charlie guided Adam from under the stage to follow his movements and fight back. This was also equivalent to Charlie fighting the final battle with Zeus, although he was always in a passive state. All of this was in his plan. Soon, Zeus showed abnormalities. Due to the long time fighting, his power was less than 20%. So Charlie started to make mocking gestures to Zeus. This action annoyed Zeus's designer, so he pulled the operator down. He went on stage himself and threw crazy heavy punches at Adam, but little did he know that he had fallen into Charlie's trap. While attacking crazily, Zeus's power was also dropping rapidly, and Adam also showed his body that could take hits to the fullest. Soon, Zeus's movements slowed down. Obviously, the power was already insufficient. It was time to make a counterattack. This punch brought out everyone's hope. Zeus was beaten until he had no temper in an instant. Seeing this, the designer immediately started the manual mode. It turned into a battle between person and person, but how could he be the opponent of the former professional boxer Charlie? This punch almost crashed Zeus's system. Then he pushed him to the corner and gave him crazy, heavy blows. The once overbearing Zeus was beaten without any power to defend himself. The last heavy punch successfully knocked Zeus to the ground. After countless failures, they finally beat Zeus. From a novice all the way to the new king's coronation. Although Zeus stood up again during the last countdown, he had almost no power to fight back against Adam. As the bell rang, the match was completely over. The designer smashed the display in anger. All the audience rushed to the ring. But when the referee announced the result, because Adam had been beaten passively during the first 4 rounds, so he didn't accumulate many points. In the end, the referee judged Adam 47 points and Zeus 48 points. With a difference of 1 point, Zeus defended his championship again. But the score is no longer that important now. Everyone thinks that Adam defeated Zeus. When the host asked Zeus's designer how he felt, he was even driven away by anger. Now the focus of the whole stadium is on Max, and the audience also gave Adam a very down-to-earth title.
People's champion? Sounds pretty good to me.